Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah. Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear.
Welcome, Massenomics listeners, to episode 171 of the Massenomics podcast. We are the world's strongest podcast, and we are also the lifting podcast about nothing. We've got the same two hosts that we usually have, myself, Tanner, and Tommy. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I enjoy long walks on the beach, hanging out with other guys, that type of stuff.
Like doing guy stuff together.
I'm a real guys guy over here.
We mentioned it maybe like 2 or 3 episodes ago that it's someone's first time listening, and I keep thinking about that now every time.
That is their first impression for someone
listening.
Actually, yeah.
But I guess we probably can't give our full bio every episode, or else we wouldn't have enough time for overrated, underrated. We wouldn't. Did that every week,
and that's what people really come for.
My one complaint about the podcast now, we're gonna have to do something about it. If you listened last week, we're in a new studio. And it's a farther drive for me, and I just don't know how I'm going to be able to continue to.
A mile farther, Tanner.
Is it that far?
I think it's almost a mile. It might be 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah,
but, it could add maybe 3 minutes to your car ride.
I know there's an additional stop sign and additional stop light.
And you are right.
This is a stoplight that can be like.
It's a big mystery.
Yeah, you can sit there and be like, is it changing?
I had a friend that used to live around these parts, and he said on his motorcycle the stoplight would
that doesn't change.
He said it would not recognize it.
I was just out here. It won't change until someone pulls up behind you or comes from the other direction.
Which seems like in this day and age, like that's a little.
It's annoying. There's a lot that are like that. When I'm on my motorcycle, I'll just eventually run it because it's.
I mean, you got to.
At that point. And I feel like you could justify that to a policeman and be like, it wouldn't change.
Do I got to get off my bike and push the pedestrian crossing button? Wow.
But so this is too far. You're going to have to move back.
We could just rent a space. That's probably a good use of money, right?
Yeah.
Rent a space in town.
We've got more than enough money to do that. And just throw it around.
That's definitely what we need to spend it on.
Yeah. We do. There will be changes, though, that upcoming visually for the podcast.
This will be... For the watchers, this will be the last time you ever see the podcast look like this.
Yeah,
You don't know what
that means,
because I don't think we even know completely what we're getting into. But it will look different next week.
There's going to be a lot more strobe lights and smoke machines.
A lot more entrance music, lasers, things like that. That will occupy a much larger portion of the airtime. But once we get to the meat of the real meat of the podcast, then it'll be the same.
We're gonna get a guy that just introduces us at the beginning of it, his name's Johnny or whatever. Yeah,
getting hired.
Yeah.
But Tanner, I am looking at myself on the monitor there, and I'm realizing that my incredible "Don't Curl in Me" shirt and my pasty skin kind of all blend into the wall. If it wasn't for the blue lift flag behind us, I'm not even sure you'd be like, what are those two eyeballs doing on the wall?
The shirt does look good, though. The shirt is here.
The shirt does look great.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
The green grass is a really good contrast on there.
It does make it pop, as they say.
Yeah. That's when you designed this, you had pop in mind, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, that is the goal of any designer, is the pop factor.
Yeah, this design started with one simple idea. Make it pop.
Yep. I mean, you can have a few designs. They can all be good, but what is the one that pops? And you'll know that. And once you have the one that pops, then you're ready to go. But, no, we released these yesterday. Based off of time recording here, we released them yesterday, and
rave reviews so far.
Rave reviews, lots of rave reviews.
Yeah.
We also have the companion flag and stickers to go with it, and people are snatching them all up. So
selling a lot of stickers.
Yeah, and as we should. I mean, these stickers belong on every squat rack in America. I feel like should almost be like a safety label that they put on before they leave the factory.
That's true.
We should talk to Rogue. See if we can work a deal with them. They got to slap it on.
License these to Rogue and Titan Fitness.
It's like that label on your mattress.
And do not remove under penalty of law.
Yeah.
We should start printing that on all the stickers, a little caption, and
we should.
Do not remove under penalty of law.
I like that. That'd be good. We're on to something here.
Yeah.
This is just a brainstorming session for product lines. So if you guys keep listening, we're just going to talk out some more ideas here.
And we won't talk about all the ideas we have, but lately we have been brainstorming a lot of good. We have a lot of good things coming for 2019.
Yes, we should just say that we've been doing some extra brainstorming lately, and the second half of 2019. I think we came into 2019 pretty good.
Yeah,
and we're gonna end 2019 really good.
Yeah, in like a lion, out like a
bigger lion. So yeah, you guys got that to look forward to in the next 6 months.
Yeah,
I guess.
I am excited for it. We got a lot of good ideas. I feel like
these ideas were happening like yesterday even. But yeah, we do have some pretty wild stuff planned.
Yeah, it's like once you get the boulder rolling, it just
once
picks
that
up
momentum's
speed.
going. Yeah, look out, world, here we come. But for real though, we do have some things happening. So if this was like, I'll give them one more shot. Today's the day. They got to impress me. We'll say just hold on a little longer. There's more coming.
We always like to do that. We always like to.
Someone probably got their ultimatum. Like, this is it. I've had enough of their shit. But yeah, no, there is more coming here. So tough it out.
The shirt is really nice. This is the first time we've printed on this shirt. Obviously, it's a different color than we've ever had before. It's a different color than anyone's ever had before.
That is one of the better things about it. Is, I mean, if you're doing a Gadsden-inspired shirt, it has to be yellow. But yellow shirts can be really tricky.
Yeah, there's some really obnoxious ones. Mm-hmm. But we have a pretty fashionable one.
This is a very
fashionable color
one,
we went with here. But the rack, it really turned out. The print on the shirts really turned out good, and the Massenomics on the plates looks pretty badass.
Yeah, the whole thing it looks amazing.
Yeah,
I just want to look down at it because I just got to put it on.
Yeah. So you do. This is your opportunity to snag those. We've been selling quite a few, and I would say if you're
the big boys, if you're a big boy,
if you're a 4X or a 3X, I wouldn't wait.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if by the time you're listening to this, they're not in stock. But if they are, then you're definitely gonna want to get one because the big guys really like this shirt.
And my one piece of advice, if you are gonna buy this and you have any of our other shirts, specifically our lift shirt, deadlifter shirt, curl hard shirt, black lift shirt, or Huge Life and Jefferson, all of those are printed on the same shirt. They run a little bit bigger than this shirt does. Yep. So you, if that shirt is, especially if that shirt is snug on you, any of those shirts that I mentioned, you would want to go a size bigger in this shirt.
I would describe this one as about a half a size smaller.
Yeah. Yes.
Like where I typically in those shirts wear a large.
Yep.
This one, the large, was just a little tighter than what I wanted.
Yep.
I went with the extra large. The extra large is slightly bigger than the large. So it is kind of like a half size smaller, I would describe it as.
That is right.
But it is a good shirt.
It is good. So we did have some news in the lifting world this week, though. Biggest piece of news is Strongman made it on what would you call cable television, or
the most hardest hitting news network, or the most hardest hitting entertainment network on the planet,
the History Channel.
The History Channel. Where you go to find out information about aliens, people
pawn
driving
shops.
trucks on ice, the intricacies of pawn dealing, and now Strongman.
Yeah. The first episode aired of The Strongest Man in History, and that features the four strongmen: Brian Shaw, Robert Oberst, Eddie Hall, and Nick Best. I caught the first episode. I don't even know how I got to watch it. I do not have cable television, but I just got the History app on.
Oh, is that how you did it?
I did, but then you had to put in your provider,
and they're like, we'll give it to you.
I just select DirecTV, and then it made me put in a code. I had to go to something on my phone, and I put in the code that was on the screen, and
you were good.
Let me watch it. So I really don't know. We do not have DirecTV.
Insider hack there for anyone wanting to know.
So I got to watch it, and it's good. I think there's going to be 7 episodes of it, is what they said.
Are these 20-minute or like?
No,
hour
I'm sure it's an hour show. I don't know if it's like 40 minutes of watching or something like that. But for this first episode, they were in Moorhead, Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I knew they were they were training at a gym at Fargo at one point in time during filming. So this was that, and it was this winter.
Yeah.
It was because it was winter out when they filmed.
And that's when they had a lot of the promos the photos coming out on Instagram.
Right.
Of them.
So that was cool. They weren't too far away from us either when they did that, and it's pretty good. It's a little cheesy, History Channel cheesy stuff.
Which that's like their thing.
Yeah.
It'd almost be shocking if it wasn't.
But it's not like way super overboard of that. It's not so much of it that it makes it unbearable. That they have to do that. They have to make this a show with the hope to appeal
and
to everyone.
Some kind of fake drama.
Yeah,
and kind of build some things up.
And there is definitely some fake stuff, and I won't give away the show because I think a lot of people that listen to this would be interested in watching it, and not like it's a spoiler show, but like I'll let you.
Does anyone die in the end of the first episode?
Not yet. But there was like this part at the end.
It's not like Game of Thrones. Just of the 5 strongmen, 2 of them actually die in the show,
and it's the one you like the best.
Yeah.
He does. It's like, oh, Brian Shaw, I really liked him.
The other 4 feed him to death, and they end him. Brian Shaw was really likable.
I really liked that guy.
He was likable through the first 4 episodes,
he
and
died.
they killed him.
I can't believe he was really important to the show. They do this weird thing where like Nick Best is teaching these guys about Viking history because this one is like they're in Minnesota. It's like this Viking thing, and I'm kind of like, well, why didn't you go to Iceland?
Yeah,
is what my first thought was, because I know they went to some other countries in the show. But anyways, that's besides the point. But he was kind of like teaching them about stuff, and I'm pretty sure, maybe he is, but I'm guessing Nick Best isn't this Viking historian that he knew these weird Viking mythology.
Like in my head, I want to think that they were like, all right, Nick, say it happened 600 years ago. And he's like, it was like 400 years ago. They're like, we got to do it again. The number's wrong. And just keeps messing it up.
And then at the end, kind of towards the end of the show, the other guys give Nick this Viking hatchet that is, supposedly a legitimate artifact.
Did it come from the Pawn Star guys, though? It's been verified by an expert.
They brought in their expert. Like, just wait, I've got an expert that's an expert in Viking hatchets.
Yeah.
Let me call him. He's just down the strip in Las Vegas.
Yeah, just quick flight.
But they gave this to him, and Nick like cries almost. And I'm like, I don't know if this is real. This part, that it seemed pretty staged, but it kind of looked like he was crying, and
maybe it's the nicest thing anyone's ever done.
It could have been. It could have been. It was good. So, but they do these tests of strength. I won't tell you what all the ones they did there, but I can see it's going to be a cool show. And some of these, and there were some legitimate stuff that they did where like, I don't think it was staged. Eddie and Brian couldn't do this one thing, and then Nick, after a lot of trying, actually was able to do it. And Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw have a really good rapport,
because it's kind of I would say it's some give and take, but I think it's mostly Eddie giving it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but Brian's not bad at it, and Robert, actually all 4 of them do. And if you ever watch Brian Shaw's YouTube channel, he puts a ton of him and Eddie Hall in there, and it's like those 2 are like the super best friends. Like those
like
2
they
are
almost have a show on their own.
Like Eddie and they're legitimately good friends. It comes off as they're good friends, and they constantly rag on each other and calling each other fat and the fat neck rolls and all the stuff that they do, and it's pretty funny. And it's like even during World's Strongest Man competition,
they do the same thing.
It's like Eddie is over there like calling Brian a fat loser, and, but then he does recognize the situation, and like maybe Brian didn't do very good at something, and you can tell they're actually friends. And they're actually friends, and
because I remember the first time I saw that was in the Eddie Hall Strongman. Is that what it was called? The documentary.
Whatever it was.
When there's like spots in the documentary where you see him like making fun of Brian Shaw, and the first time I saw it, I'm like, God, are these guys like friends actually? Like you don't. That was several years ago, and you didn't see at least to me, I didn't see as much of them then. So I'm thinking like, is this actually like, are they at each other's throats kind of? And now it's just
no, they definitely are good friends, and all 4 of them do have a pretty funny rapport like that. And there's some competition amongst them in there, you can tell. But it's a good show. I would, if you like strongman or powerlifting or strength sports of any kind, you almost have to watch it, because what are your alternatives? It's almost like I talked to someone that they said to me, they're like, I don't really like strongman, but this is someone that likes powerlifting, but they're like, I watched it and it was pretty good. I still don't really like strongman, but it's about lifting and it's on television. So
exactly, yeah. There's just not much of that,
right? So I give it a watch recommendation
until the plot twist at the end of the first season, and it might change how you feel about.
That's true.
It could change how you feel about the writing of the entire season.
If they kill off Brian and Robert Oberst,
how soon they kill off Brian, it could have a lot of impact on.
Nick Best is over 50 years old though, and it's that's pretty old.
Well, and to still be doing
I mean, to be doing that stuff, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. Because it's just hard to picture like people even wanting to be doing that after like having a career of any kind in it.
No kidding.
I think at some point you just say, this is it. I've had enough of getting hurt for nominal compensation.
I'm curious what they did get paid though for the show.
Is it that Ice Road Truckers money they're taking in,
or is it
more that Deadliest Catch?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Deadliest Catch.
I guess probably less than both of those.
Are those both still?
I don't.
Do they make new seasons of those shows?
I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but I.
Were they on like the 20th season of Deadliest Catch then?
I would think.
Aren't all those guys dead by now? It's pretty.
It kinda
how deadly is it if they're not?
I was gonna say it kind of makes it not very Deadliest Catch if it's like, no, they're all good. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe people did die. I don't know.
I think so. I do remember some of them died, but I think it was more like heart attack. Like Sig. Was
not
one
directly related to like falling off a boat or anything.
It's more because they chain smoked and ate canned food.
Life choices more than job hazards.
Right.
Yeah, my History Channel, just my knowledge of the network has really gone down in the last 5 to 10 years here. Like I remember growing up when that channel was actually History Channel. Like, I remember being a kid. And like my grandpa being excited about the History Channel because he could watch like World War I and II documentaries and all that stuff. And
do they even have that at all?
I almost feel like if you saw that on now, you'd be like, "What? Something's wrong here."
That channel is a little bit of a joke at this point, right?
Oh
like,
yeah. It's just reality TV.
Yeah.
It's just reality TV for guys.
Yeah,
it's really what it is.
Yeah.
Instead of like watching rich famous women like spend money on things, you're watching guys do like terribly scripted like. Catastrophes happen in bad scripted ways and they bail themselves out. And I mean there's obviously got to be some element of realism to it, but I think for the most part it's kind of like it gets played up for the show. And
for sure, so
for that reason I don't know much about the network anymore.
This show would be my most exposure to it in quite a while myself.
So that's our review of the History Channel and The Strongest Man in History.
Yep. The other thing that I did take note of is at the beginning they like gave a little few comments about each of the guys, and on Robert Oberst they say has the world record log press. That's not true.
Was it ever true?
No, he had
the American
record, but never had the world record. And I just think it's funny that slipped through. That he had to have seen her. They all four of them had to have saw that.
And they had to have known of it.
Yeah. Right.
So who's considered to still have the world record right now?
Z.
It is still Z?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if that changed recently.
No, I think it's still Z.
Okay.
I don't think Oberst has the American record because didn't Rob Kearney break that?
Because that was the other one I was going to say.
Yeah.
But he didn't break the world record though when he got the American record there.
No.
Okay. Yeah. But speaking of big performances, there was another somewhat high-profile event this last weekend with Giants Live London.
Yeah, I've seen it called Giants Live London, and I've also seen it called Giants Live Wembley. But either way, same competition. And probably the most interesting part of that to me was the finish of that. Martins was third, Jerry Pritchett got second, and Mateus got first. And just the kind of thinking about the parody of the sport now, because Martins literally just won World's Strongest Man. Goes to this competition,
which is more of like a regional.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still
it's a big one,
but it's not World's Strongest.
Man. And he gets third, and it's like, and I don't think it wasn't because he did terrible, and he wasn't super disappointed about it.
Didn't it say wasn't he like fifth going into the last
two events? I think Hercules, Holden, Stones, and then he did well on both of those. But I just do think there is that much parody. More, the sport itself has that much more parody now that it kind of comes down to the competition, the day of, there's not someone.
Just the events.
Yeah,
too.
the events. Yeah,
it's just tough to say someone's the world's strongest man because it depends on what the events are.
So do you think that's better, more interesting to watch, or worse?
I actually do think it's more interesting because it gives you it makes it more like a traditional sport in the day, in the way that anyone on that day that shows up and the conditions are right and has their day can win. Like powerlifting, me against Dan Green, I will never beat him. Like never. So that it's not even a sport unless he hurts himself squatting.
Well, there's probably a fair chance of that happening.
Yeah, well, yes. And that would be the only, like, there's never a reason that if we were in the same weight class that I would ever just have the day of my life.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But in Strongman, you can have guys that, and that's a really extreme example, like comparing me to Dan Green, but you can have someone, even in, let's say, the 220-pound weight class, the guy that's ranked 10th in the world and the guy that's ranked 1st in the world, usually in that range, there's a big gap.
Yeah.
Even between 1st and 4th, there can be a pretty large gap.
Yeah.
But like with Strongman, you can be maybe considered the 1st in the world and the 10th in the world, and depending on what the events are that day, just who's making mental errors, who's doing things, who had a drop here and there, and you can be 10th in the world and put together a day and make something out of it.
Yeah. For powerlifting, big dogs might be the only competition that's actually has that kind of level of competition, where there's probably 5 guys competing out there that could, that it could shuffle around all depending on their day.
It could.
That's one
but really,
meet.
really the biggest thing that's still going to come down to there is injury. Like,
if
a guy going into it, if his biggest total ever, 6
Yeah,
months
it
ago
really
was
isn't.
2,300.
Yeah.
He's not going to put 200 pounds on
Right.
his total. Like, you have somewhat of an idea going in.
Yeah, it's true. The events are set versus strongman. The events are, there's so many more.
Yeah,
in powerlifting, there's 3 events, so you kind of know.
And like with strongman, some guys' major asset to their game is their deadlift.
Yep.
And you might not get just a good conventional traditional deadlift.
Right.
It might be some kind of weird one, and that can screw over that whole part of your strategy because now people with maybe a weaker deadlift, it plays more to their strengths in the style that it is. So I don't know. I think that makes it more fun to watch because it is more of a who's who type thing.
Yep.
Or it's more of a who's showing up
does
that
what.
day.
Yeah. Jerry Pritchett, I saw he said this second place there qualified for him for World's Strongest Man. So it'll be the first year this next year him doing World's Strongest Man in a while. He hasn't been he competed in there for a few years, which I'm always like, why isn't Jerry Pritchett doing World's Strongest Man? That always kind of annoyed me.
Well, but didn't he, or was it an Arnold qualifier because they had that thing at the pier at Santa Monica?
That was an
that
Arnold thing.
That was
the Arnold USA this year,
he
whatever.
Qualified there, didn't he?
I think he would have maybe qualified by points anyways, but he did ultimately qualify
but that was
there.
very shortly before the Arnold.
Yes. But that was an Arnold qualifier. The part of Giants Live London was one of the events was the deadlift world championship or whatever they build that at.
Might be the thing that kind of got the most airtime out of all of it.
Right.
Was this the actual spot where Eddie Hall did the 500 kilo deadlift, or it
I
was
think
a
so.
Giants Live?
Yeah,
event.
and it was like
one.
there was a deadlift only. It was. Yeah, I think it was. I think basically this was that event, and kind of the thing that I took away from that, there was only 2. I say only like this isn't impressive, but there was only 2 guys that just broke 1,000. The big thing going into it is like, could anyone touch 500 kilograms? Eddie's record, and Jerry on a second attempt got 1,001 or third attempt, whatever it was. He tried 1,030, I think, on his final and didn't get it. But it just shows how far away we really are still from someone ever being able to do that
compared
again.
to, at the Arnold. I don't know. Was there Shaw and Thor? Did anyone else hit 1,000 at the Arnold?
JF Carone, maybe he did last year.
Okay,
because I didn't think.
But even
get
then,
hurt this,
that is with the elephant bar set up. It's kind of a different setup. Like here, we're talking actual kilo plates and a different style bar. So it is a different pull.
Yep. That Rano Heinla, he did pull 1,000 though also, and I'm pretty sure he is the guy. Do you remember when Mateus walked by our booth at the Arnold this year?
Yeah,
he was the guy.
I
talked. I talked to him, and he is not a big guy in
He's
comparison.
Not like even Mateus big. Mateus.
No, I think Rano was shorter than me when I talked to him. Actually, Mateus was walking by, and you kind of get this feeling like they're with each other, and Rano is almost as good as he is, if not better than him in some events. But people aren't noticing him because he just doesn't look like
he's not as tall, and Mateus is just so broad.
Yeah,
big.
But I did talk to him, and he was nice, but he just doesn't look to me like a guy like
a
Jerry.
guy pulling 1,000.
Yeah, Jerry Pritchett looks like a guy that would deadlift 1,000 pounds. When you stand next to him and you shake his hand and stuff, it's like, whoa,
like
you are
this guy
enormous.
should deadlift 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
So that's impressive to me that he pulled over $1,000. I know that was a PR for him.
And his actually, if it's the one I'm thinking of, which I believe it was like the 1,001 pound or whatever attempt, it looked surprisingly easy.
Yeah, it was a really good deadlift.
Do you know, was that his second or third attempt?
I'm not sure about that. I would almost guess it was his third, but I really don't know.
Yeah, that was a very very easy pull, which makes you think that. And I have no idea how old he is, but you want to think that with the way that's going, that it's only going to go up for him,
that's
barring injury.
Yes, that's what I would sure think.
Wow.
So that was that event. Magnus and Kaz.
Oh yeah,
went against each other.
They did do that?
Yeah.
I remember talking about that months ago.
I think Kaz hurt himself. I haven't seen any video on it, but I think he pulled. I think he pulled something.
Because I didn't even hear anything on it.
I saw the video of Magnus doing it, and he goes forever. Again? The Hercules hold.
Oh, it was. That was.
And he held it forever. Like it.
So it's like he still got it.
And I haven't seen Kaz's at all. I saw in like a comment or something that he got hurt, and I wonder if he almost didn't get hurt immediately or something like that, because I haven't seen any video of it whatsoever.
Yeah. Well,
so Magnus won.
But how old are those guys?
We looked that time. Kaz is pretty. Kaz is quite a bit older than Magnus is.
58 or something.
I think Magnus is in his 50s, but Kaz was in his like later 60s even.
I guess like maybe there's a reason people in their 60s
don't do that.
Strongman stuff.
Even that event, yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that'll continue as a thing or not. Maybe they'll have to go like a little less deep into the tank.
Like more recently retired.
Maybe put like Z versus
Yeah, like Z, who could like potentially just be competing and like be hanging in there with the guys anyways.
Yeah. Dig a little less farther into the well than Kaz.
Okay, so do you know what other events were at this thing?
I know they finished up with the stone medley, the 5 stones.
Yep.
They did the Hercules hold, the deadlift. And then I don't remember now.
Well, either way, it's still the event that has like the like actual crowd.
Yeah, it's an arena crowd that like is going nuts. It looks like just about the coolest competition that's out there.
It does.
But Arnold's pretty cool, but it's not
It's not.
You're in a huge.
It's not spectator friendly unless you're in like the first couple rows.
Yeah,
then it's amazing.
It's really fun.
It's probably about as good as it gets. But unless you're one of the 100 people in the first 10, 15 feet of seating.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like the Arnold is not like it's not fan friendly. Where this just looks like it is a spectacle.
Looks like a blast.
And the announcers, is that really good? It's
Colin
always
Bryce.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he always is like the really good announcer that like knows how to get people hyped, and he knows what's going on and understands the ins and outs of all of it.
Yes.
So that would be a really cool event to go to someday.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, it looks like the funnest strongman event that exists. At least from a spectator sport, it doesn't look like it gets any better than that. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. Well, Tanner,
what about we haven't reviewed our overrated underrated from last week yet to see how you did versus how the people did.
Oh, we didn't.
No, so we have been doing that a little earlier in the show at times, but
okay.
I'm always curious to see to compare how you performed versus how they performed.
Yes, why don't you find that for us?
Okay, this is from episode 170, last week's episode of Overrated Underrated. We pulled the people this week on Instagram like we do every week in our story. Topic number 1 was Grey Goose Vodka. You said overrated.
I did.
The people, a resounding 80% overrated. One of the biggest.
I did notice that. I didn't know if that was going to hold up. I'm curious if you just said vodka, if people would have said overrated.
I bet it probably would have been just about as, probably would have been close to 80% too. But that's the huge. Rarely do I see the percentages get into the 80s. Okay, straws.
I said straws were still overrated.
Overrated. This is pretty close. Only 57% overrated.
Really?
43% said straws are underrated.
I guess if you're a straw person, you really care about straws.
Someone commented, all these people saying overrated obviously don't have a beard. Because they're saying like if you're,
yeah.
Someone did mention that. Maybe that was that.
I could
I don't
understand
know if that's a
that
large
argument,
factor at play. Yeah. using the word druthers. Did you see the results of this one at all?
I think it was underrated, wasn't it?
You said underrated. The people also said 69% underrated. Pretty far in
people are on the same page with that one.
I have to imagine that the podcast is a pretty significant influence on the voting of that.
I would assume, yeah.
Otherwise, it might not be skewed quite that far in that direction. The last topic was, I listed it on here as World Cup soccer, and the picture was a picture of Abby Morgan and the
and
other
I still
girl.
don't know what was what.
I know that that's Abby Morgan, but she's not even the most like, there's this other one that, like, I think she made the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
And now she's been there's something with her and Trump, and I don't even know what it is. But anyways, the topic was written as World Cup soccer, and it was a picture of the women's team, I guess. And you said overrated, I think is what we kind of ultimately said.
I don't care about soccer.
And that is, the people voted 56% overrated.
It doesn't surprise me that much.
No, I don't disagree, but I was kind of expecting that it could come a little bit the other direction.
Just because they were World Cup champions. Yeah. Just showing some pride for the country there. But
it still does show, even though how much soccer has grown in popularity, I would say, within the United States over the last decade or two, but it still does show.
Maybe it was all of our international listeners just hating on the American. It could be the American.
Well, that's true, too. But the topic was really just World Cup soccer.
Yeah,
You'd have to think they would be like,
in favor of it, yeah.
Way better than the Super Bowl and all that other stupid crap you guys watch over there.
Yeah, you would think.
So were you?
I think it was 4 for 4 there.
Yeah.
That might be one of the first times I've ever been 4 for 4.
Yeah, 4 for 4. Or they were 4 for 4. It's always kind of the dilemma is which is which.
Yeah. Well, see if I can keep that streak alive. Tanner, we still got a little bit of time here.
Okay.
So I want to play a little game with you here, Tanner.
Oh. Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, just like that. Maybe not quite so creepy. This one might be focused more on the fun side and less on the creepy side. We're going to make a little return to something called supplement, real or fake.
Oh, not fitness is fine.
No, I'm going to bounce it around here.
Supplements, real or fake.
Just to kind of flip the thing on its head here.
Okay,
so I should probably refresh the rules here for people. Supplement, real or fake, consists of me naming a supplement to Tanner. Tanner then has to decide if the supplement name is real or fake.
Oh, it's been a while.
And it has been a while. Some past fan favorites
Ejaculoid
consisted of Ejaculoid, which is real.
Yeah.
I can't even remember a lot of them. Most of them tend to be sexual enhancement supplements of some kind.
Yeah.
Are surprisingly real. So, you never know what could happen here, Tanner. So, first on the list, supplement, real or fake, Tanner. First up, we have Full Metal Jacked. Full Metal Jacked.
Oh, Full Metal Jacked. The first thing I like to think about is what it is.
And if you're not aware, there is for listeners that aren't aware, there is a movie, Full Metal Jacket. So it is a bit of a play on the a bit of a play on the name there.
Jacked or Jack 3D. I think. What do people say? Jacked or do you? Sometimes I read it as Jack 3D.
I've heard both. One of the more infamous supplements, I would say, that
was
out
the
there.
pre-workout that, the joke is if she doesn't remember the original formula for Jack, she's too young for you, bro. Because I don't know if the original formula
had. Did you ever have it?
I don't remember. I'm sure I did, because at that point in time I took so many different supplements and I think maybe.
Does it come in a bottle? I'll take it.
And I can't remember what the stimulant used to be in there. If it was like DMAA or something like that. That is supposedly illegal now. Yeah, right. But because of that, I think that it would be a pre-workout supplement, which is actually just my go-to on these if I'm not sure.
It kind of is the catch-all.
But that's why I think it's a pre-workout supplement, because of the Jacked. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's real because, that seems exactly like something that they would make.
Tanner, in the return of supplement, real or fake, you are so far 1 for 1.
Oh,
Full Metal Jacked is
nice.
real. This one does get a little tricky. This was actually submitted quite a while ago by Tyler effing Stone.
Oh, and I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Didn't we have him on the podcast
I think
once?
He was a guest a couple times on the show, if I remember correctly. I have trouble remembering back past like 6 months. But
we had him on the show like 120 times, didn't we?
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. he sent me a screenshot on Instagram. Like they were running ads of this company, Full Metal Jacked. I don't know if they got in trouble or what, but I do have the image, and they have like completely like disappeared. So the company that makes it, I don't know if it was like a one-off thing and it changed, but something weird is going on there. So if you look now, it's very, very hard to even come by it, but I do have a screenshot. Otherwise, I wouldn't believe that it ever
But what do you
existed.
figure the turnover is on supplement companies
Yes,
this anyways?
And then
it's
that
like,
in general, yeah. You're starting a supplement company? Okay, well, have fun losing all your money over the course of the next 6 months.
We'll see if you're here we'll see if you're here 12 months from now.
Yeah.
Like, do you think, like, do you think a third of them survive over 2 years?
The bigger question starts to become like, when we start to refer to the supplement industry, are we talking like vitamins,
right?
Or are we talking just more?
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
thinking
fitness
like just. The fitness
I would think it's got to be something like 60 to 80% disappear.
Yeah,
like outside of like the long term ones, when you think,
I think they're the only ones that make it. The big one,
like
if you took like the Big 10.
Well, even like MHP hardly even seems like a thing anymore. They were like everywhere for a while, and like I can't think of the
BSN is a big one.
BSN,
they're Optimum Nutrition.
Yeah, Optimum Nutrition, and like Muscle Farm now is to me one of the more up and comers. And when I say up and comer, like they've been around for still a long time, but Cell Tech is one that like kind of seems like it's maybe disappearing. That was super popular maybe more like 10 years ago. But it just I wouldn't want to be in that industry. But also at the same time, if you somehow get some influencer connection.
Oh, Redcon 1.
That one's very trendy.
Yeah.
Did
that's
they
the
even
trendiest.
exist 2 years ago?
Well, maybe 2. Yeah.
They were probably in the planning stages 2 years ago.
But their marketing, we've talked about it before, is just their marketing budget is off the chart.
Well, and they also do kind of the and I think this is becoming more popular for supplements. Again, we are very much talking as outsiders here.
Yeah.
But they do almost the multi-level marketing thing where you can
be an influencer or
and
a
like
rep
the more like your code, the more you sell, the higher tier you get, and the higher tier you get rewards and kickbacks and things. And again, it kind of turns into, well, it's not just about supplements now. It's about like trying to be an entrepreneur, selling some. It's just such a weird thing.
Hey, we won't say the company name, but we did get offered a pretty lucrative CBD deal here. It wasn't from our target of Herbstrong, who we've gone after for a while, but we're just weighing the pros and cons of if we could morally go down that path. But
so the offers are out there.
Yeah,
the offers are coming in for us.
So that's Herbstrong. That's your warning that we're getting targeted by some of your competitors, so this would be your chance to throw something.
Are getting smaller and smaller all the time.
Yeah.
All right, Tanner. Up next on the supplement real or fake game, Uncle Richie's Sour Apple Super Pump Max. Uncle Richie's Sour Apple Super Pump Max.
Would you need to put Uncle Richie's in the title?
I don't know. Would you?
And what was it? Super Pump Max?
Super Pump Max.
Because
Super Pump isn't enough.
Yeah.
We need to have the word Max in there.
And that Super Pump, what are those nitric oxide supplements that give you the more vascular?
Could be that. Could be a pre-workout.
Oh, wait. Super Pump Max, though, is also the penis thing. I forget that it could be the penis thing.
Could be male enhancement of some kind.
I'm gonna on this one. I am going to say it's fake, but although I feel like it's real, but I'm going to say fake and go out on a limb and say fake.
Uncle Richie's Sour Apple Super Pump Max is real.
I just felt like it was too many things.
That's like it. Absolutely is too many things. You're not wrong about that at all. It's made by. I don't know how you say this. Gaspari Nutrition.
Yeah. That's Rich Gaspari is body. I have purchased. Actually, I have. What is that called?
Super Pump Max.
I don't know if I've purchased that exact product, but back in the day when I bought supplements, I'm talking just probably 10 years ago now, I did buy quite a bit of Gaspari.
And I probably tricked you on this a little bit, Tanner, because the actual name, the order they have it in is Gaspari Nutrition Super Pump Max Uncle Richie's Sour Apple.
might have even had. I got this wrong, and I may have even had that supplement before. Or if I haven't, I had some variation of that supplement. Maybe I know I had a Gaspari Nutrition stuff that had labels.
Just like that.
Yeah,
it looks kind of low budget, to be honest.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. What is it though? Is it a pre-workout?
It's just a pre-workout. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've had it. Maybe it wasn't Super Pump Max. Maybe it was just Super Pump. But
and I don't even really need to read the description because it's just a pre-workout.
Rich Gaspari was a bodybuilder.
Okay. See, and the name wasn't really ringing a bell with me, but what do you do?
Yep.
Okay, Tanner. No looking now.
Okay.
Next on the list.
To redeem myself.
Next on the list. Ultra Bull Mass Gainer.
Ultra
Bull.
Bull.
Like the farm animal. The bull.
Ultra Bull.
Ultra Bull Mass Gainer.
We've had two true supplements so far. Mm-hmm. But I know we've had.
I have also tricked you by doing all fakes before.
I know. That's why you start to think, well, there's got to be a fake one in there. Or then I think, well, I bet they're all true again. Ultra Bull Mass Gainer.
Yep. Ultra
Bull. Well, I'm going to assume it's a mass gainer. So it's a shake with a bunch of carbs and some shit in it.
Calories, all that goodness.
Would the company call it Ultra Bull? I'm going to go with.
I was going to say, like in the super training, they start talking about the bulls that can have the ultra muscle mass.
What kind of bulls are those?
I think it's an Ultra Bull. I don't remember what those are called. Yeah.
Built like a Belgian blue bull or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think it's fake.
Ultra Bull Mass Gainer.
Not enough lines. There needs to be like seven more.
more. It needs to be Uncle Richie's Ultra Bull Mass Gainer.
Fruit Explosion.
Yeah, Fruit Explosion. Sour. Ultra Bull Mass Gainer is fake. Tanner, you are correct.
2 out of 3.
And that one was actually submitted a long time ago by TYZMYATT. So like Ties Matt. Something like that. So thank you for that submission, but you were not good enough to trick Tanner.
No, you're gonna have to do something better than that.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
So who submitted the Gaspari Nutrition Supermax?
That was my.
You just
submission.
had that one. Okay.
I tracked that one down.
So Tyler and Matt, neither of them have.
Neither of them.
No, you've been the only one able to trick me.
I'm the only one that's been able to trick you
with a supplement that I've even had before.
Exactly. All right, last one, Tanner, on the list. Supplement, real or fake? You are currently 2-1.
Yeah.
Final supplement, nuclear garbage. Nuclear garbage.
Would you want to make a product and call it garbage?
I don't know. Would you? Would you want to make a product called the Lift Shorts and then charge that much money for them too?
Touche.
It's
what could go wrong?
Psychology.
Nuclear garbage. The nuclear. Neither of the words tell you anything, I don't think, about the product as far as being able to guess what it was. Like the only thing in any marketing that garbage refers to me is where it's like everything but the kitchen sink. Like if you have a garbage burger, it's like they throw everything on it. Like it's got the guacamole, the onion, the bacon, every single thing. So
you're thinking this supplement
it's
is
like
a pre-workout,
it's got protein powder in it. But it's nuclear, so then it's also
supercharged.
Yeah,
it's like a supplement on steroids, right?
Well, that just is steroids, isn't it? I think it's a ridiculous name, but I guess I think it's real. But I do not know. I have no idea what it is. But I think it's real.
Well, with all these, Tanner, I'm making the rule now that whatever you pick from now on, you have to decide what you think that supplement is. So what do you think that supplement would be if it was real or fake?
I think nuclear garbage. Creatine.
All right. The fourth and final supplement on supplement real or fake, nuclear garbage is real. You are correct, Tanner. You went 3-1 in your.
But what is it?
In your triumphant return.
I really want to know what it actually is.
I'm glad I kept a link because I do not remember what it is.
Was this one that you had found at some point?
Yeah, and I believe I actually got suggestions for this one too. But okay, here it is. On iSupplements.com, nuclear garbage, hardcore anabolic pre-workout.
Yeah. Okay.
Reactor.
So when in doubt, it's pre-workout. That's the helpful rhyme for supplements, real and real frank. When in doubt, it's pre-workout.
Oh, I do like this. Okay, so I didn't look at this very close. All right, nuclear garbage is the combination of stage 3 nuclear technology designed to make this pre-workout supplement even more powerful than any pre-training supplement. Okay.
What about the garbage?
What is stage 3 nuclear technology? Well, within minutes of taking nuclear garbage, you feel the neurological surge that prepares you for some crazy physical activity. Your blood will be surging, yada, yada, yada. The weight has no chance. This is stage 1.
That's just stage 1? Holy shit.
Stage 2 is the bioenergetic reaction that is triggered, thus supplying your muscles with everything needed to blast through the most intense and grueling workout possible. The high octane energy levels produced way down at the cellular level. Sure. Fuel your body like never before. A fatigue-fighting muscular defense is forming quickly to destroy the burn that is trying to hold back from your gym carnage.
Jeez.
They should give this to people in the hospital. That think it could really help.
Well, it attacks at a cellular level, and that's where you need it. You know,
Tanner, we're not done with
that's
stage
just stage
2 yet. We're
2.
still in stage 2. Soon, this is still stage 2. Soon after, vasodilation occurs, opening the floodgates to your muscles, allowing vital nutrients and minerals to engorge your muscles, swelling them to the max. Like, this almost sounds like something you don't want to happen to you the more it goes on. Like I saw Chernobyl. I think the same thing happened to people that were in the reactor when this all went down. Muscle cells begin to expand mid-workout, thus helping to create greater contractile leverage, strength, and improve muscle size. Now you're wondering, what the hell is stage 3?
What is left?
Nuclear stage 3 has begun. Through maximized protein synthesis, improved nitrogen balance, and reduce oxidative stress, nuclear garbage can help you enjoy unbelievable muscle growth like you've only imagined. Only high levels of training and muscle teardown can result in massive muscle gains and improved strength. Nuclear garbage basically does these things, is what they're saying.
Wow.
So, that's nuclear garbage.
How do you write, how do you make a supplement and then say all that shit? Like,
so it must be 3 different things. Because, I like their ingredient list. In the ingredient list, there's the nuclear G stage 1 detonator. There's the nuclear G stage 2 reactor. And there's the nuclear G stage 3 fusion. And each
they're
one
really
of those,
hammering home on the nuclear terminology.
They absolutely are. So, you can get that on iSupplements.com. $20. It only has 1 review, so
how many stars?
5-star review. The review, the title is Insane Workout. The description, or the review actually says, this product made me clinically insane. Also delivered a great workout. 5 stars. And that's, I think, what you want out of
any self-respecting pre-workout.
There also is the garbage all-day performance sports drink. So garbage must be a brand.
Couldn't they just, instead of writing everything they wrote there, just say it has a lot of caffeine in it?
You would think, and more vitamin B than you probably would ever need ever. The garbage sports drink. I don't think the writing is quite as creative on it, but there's a whole garbage line. So you guys can look for that one if you're really interested. But Tanner, we are at the 47-minute mark. Should we hop back into? We gave everyone the little teaser of over under. Maybe we should give them the real deal now.
We better get into this week's the new news of overrated underrated. We got some good topics up this week too, much like every week. But I don't think anyone's ever left overrated underrated disappointed.
No, not at all.
That's the thing about overrated underrated. You always leave satisfied. Okay, overrated underrated. Gonna hit up the FAQ this week.
Okay.
Because there's been some questions. Question number 1, probably the most important. Can Tommy come up with his own over-under topics? Short answer is no. It's not suggested or preferable, but under special circumstances, it could be petitioned to be allowed.
I don't think I've created my own topic yet. I'm kind of afraid
people
to
want to know.
there.
Yeah,
but yes, people obviously
we don't want to go through the process.
Why isn't he going there? Is it because it's not allowed? Well, it is allowed technically. Technically, maybe
under the rules, like it could be. Can the rules change? Well, yes, the rules are fluid. They are a living, breathing organism that can evolve and does evolve with time, as we know.
Any good set of rules is.
It's a growing organism. They typically get longer. Okay, topic 1: overrated or underrated. I think you're gonna like exploring this one. True crime podcasts. Overrated or underrated?
All right, Tanner,
Good topic.
there is a lot to explore here.
Yeah.
So, at their best, true crime podcasts at their best are maybe the best podcasts. They might be the best podcasts. It's an amazing story.
Probably by the statistics, they probably are. I don't know,
they're probably
but
the most popular.
Yeah.
Well, especially when they hit big.
Yeah.
Like it's a crazy mystery. There's like, it's the type of thing, like at their best, you're thinking, there's no way like this is real people. Like you wouldn't, like if someone wrote this, you wouldn't believe it because it's so outlandish and crazy.
Yeah.
But with that, because it is so popular, there's been this whole like wave and surge of just unlimited.
Yes.
Like you just can't, almost can't. Actually, you couldn't physically listen to all the true crime podcasts and documentaries and all that. There's just so much of it.
Yeah.
What was the question? True crime podcasts overrated?
True crime podcasts.
I do believe that true crime podcasts are probably overrated just because it is probably one of the biggest genres of the podcast, medium in general.
Serial.
And Serial has done some, amazing like that. You could probably say like Serial is the reason things like Making a Murderer exist and all of those. I can say that I'm entertained most when they are like the most critically acclaimed ones, and then outside of that, when people are like, oh yeah, this one's pretty good, you should check it out, or this one's not too bad. I have a hard time with some of those. Like they get. Okay, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, these are shitty people that did bad things. Like,
well, and they have this thing that they do where they chase the who's the person talking, the host of the show or whatever you call them,
the reporter.
Yeah, they go down they take you down this rabbit hole. That them as creating the show, they already know.
They know
the answer to the rabbit hole, and they're taking you down this thing.
What don't they call it, like a red herring or whatever?
Yeah,
it's like it was just kind of like a trick,
right?
And I get it, like. TV shows can do that to me because it's just kind of a TV show. But when you know the answers, if you're going to do some big elaborate, like if that actually happened to you and you were genuinely confused and you're reporting like, I went after all this, but like if it was just like, oh, and this happened and they're setting up just to like be like, well, I was just entertained.
And I feel like some that are out there,
they
like,
do too much.
They take like what the original popular ones do and they like overdo that
like
stuff.
they get away from more of the kind of reporting and just more into like the storytelling part of it, and like you can tell like almost making like fan fiction of like this crime.
Yes.
But I would say I think they are overrated, but at their best I do enjoy them.
I agree with that answer. Overrated or underrated electric cars?
I can answer this. I think electric cars are underrated. I know like there are things online of people like hating electric cars, and I mean, look at a Tesla. It's a pretty crazy machine. Like what science is capable of like building, like engineering, like just maybe just the mechanical engineering like feat of building these things. They're an insane vehicle, and I would love to have one. It'd be super awesome, and they have all these crazy things they can do, with autonomous driving and all that. And then at the end of the day, like, why wouldn't we want to explore options that just maybe make the world just less polluted? However you feel about global warming, I think we would all agree we don't like pollution.
Right.
So like what's wrong with having less pollution, just wanting things to be better?
Yeah.
And that's not to say gas cars suck, because a lot of people have that mentality. It's either electric cars or gas cars are the worst, or gas cars are the best and electric cars are the worst. There's always, for a long time still, there's going to be a spot for both of them.
Yeah.
And our gas, diesel, fuel, fossil fuel cars, they're both going to be around a long time. And I don't think anyone's trying to make them completely illegal, by any means here. But I think electric cars are underrated. I'd like to see some more crazy stuff happening there.
I had the reason this topic came up. This is an interesting little story to share. I think I was talking with my brother-in-law this. Last week they were here visiting, and he is I would say very liberal. Like he and his wife both are, and I'm more. Wouldn't say I'm. We don't get into politics on this show. And like I don't. That's the truth. I'm like I don't care, but I do like maybe some conversations like this where I like it because I don't have a side, so I can I just like to hear some facts about it and be able to make an opinion on it. And so I'm saying he's very liberal. He's actually like an editor for a paper that's probably maybe even liberally biased, I would say. But anyways, his point on electric car, we were talking about electric cars. We were talking about Tesla, actually, because my 8-year-old son always says he wants a Tesla. Okay. And I always tell him, well, you're getting a 2003 Buick LeSabre. You can put like a Tesla.
You said once you sit behind a wheel, you'll get it.
And like Nikola Tesla didn't have anything on Mr. Buick.
Yeah, whatever Mr. Buick's first name was.
Anyways, got off on a tangent there. We were talking about electric cars, and he brought up the point, and I bring up the politics side of it because electric cars are almost like a politically charged issue.
Well, yeah,
because it's this environment thing. It's like
and that's what politicians do is they make it just they have to make every issue black and white. You can't just be like, well, I think maybe electric cars would be cool. Like it's like, well, either you're killing the environment or you're killing oil jobs.
And him being liberal, I expected that to be what he's. I kind of expected them to be like, well, yeah. We should be driving be in support of it for those reasons. But I had never considered this, and I don't know. I've never heard anyone say it. I'm sure people talk about it as a talking point.
It like the manufacturing of them?
Well, that would be part of it. I guess that would play into it. But more so, it is if you have an electric car, you have to charge it.
Well,
to power it.
You currently have to charge it based off of fossil fuels right now. Yeah.
Right. It all depends on how your electricity is where that power is coming from. Yep. And he said, if I buy an electric car and where I live, if I charge that, our power comes from coal. So and they actually some say that it's actually a net
loss from carbon emissions.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And I get that argument too.
And I was like, I think.
I guess in maybe my optimistic viewpoint of the world, you want to think like, oh, maybe if we start just being more concerned about green technology, we'll start to invest more in we'll start to invest more in solar and wind and just be more conscious. And then there is also the other thing of people can like say, oh, I love gas, I love oil, all that stuff. Yeah. But also, where does a lot of our gas and oil come from? It's like, what's wrong with like not wanting to give more money overseas? Like, what's wrong with like wanting to be more have a more domestic energy policy? And
I like the idea of just like the technology will come out of it that is applicable to other things.
Just battery technology getting better in general is a win for everyone. But,
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure some people listening to this already got pissed about one thing or another, but I guess I don't think there's anything wrong with just science, people doing things, learning more things, and more good things are going to come out of it. So I still say electric cars are underrated.
Underrated, okay.
The current situation might not be ideal, but let's be optimistic here.
And Teslas are pretty cool.
They are really cool, no doubt about that.
So it is cool to make them cool. I'm in favor of making them cool.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a Tesla than a Prius.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Okay, underrated or overrated? Stranger Things.
Have you watched Stranger Things season 1 and 2, Tanner?
1 and 2, yes. None of 3, I believe.
I have not watched season 3 yet either. I did see that was out.
And this isn't season specific.
This is tricky because I enjoy Stranger Things, but the question is it overrated or underrated? And it's also a show that a lot of people enjoy. I think you'd be safe saying it's one of Netflix's biggest shows, probably in their top 5, probably maybe even in their top 3.
Yep.
But is it overrated or underrated? That is the real question there.
Yeah. And it's hard to know without knowing where us not having seen season 3.
And I haven't seen season 3.
Because that could be crucial to the...
I don't feel so strongly on this one that I have a big opinion.
Yeah.
You really got me right in the middle of this one, Tanner. This is almost what I want to say. Like,
but we do know that as we've reviewed the rules, you do have to.
I do have to make a decision.
Appropriately rated is not an option.
It is not, and that's why I'm going
to make a decision.
refresh
people on that because people always want to say things are appropriately rated. Yep. You don't get to do that here.
Yep, and I do want to make a decision. I wish I could watch season 3 and get back to you because I feel like that would maybe change my thing because you can see like, all right, are they milking the series here or do they have fresh content?
That would be my concern with the series, that it's like, all right, this should probably be ended.
Well, because if I watched season 3 and I was like, well, okay, that was not needed, then I'm immediately saying the whole thing was overrated. Just end it at 2 and be done with it. Man, this is one of the tougher ones.
I don't have an answer really for it.
I think I'll still go that Stranger Things is underrated because I still actually do talk to a decent number of people that haven't watched it, which makes me think it hasn't. It definitely hasn't hit like Game of Thrones popularity level or anything. I still think it's underrated and it's worth getting Netflix to watch it.
I do like the nostalgia thing.
And the nostalgia, the music, it is all very, very entertaining and fun. So I'm going to go underrated.
Underrated. Final topic of overrated or underrated this week. Overrated or underrated? Bottled water.
Oh, bottled water. It's so overrated. So overrated. Like the only time bottled water is underrated is when you're in a pinch and you don't have water, and that is your only way of getting water. That's the only time bottled water is underrated. Otherwise, bottled water is always, 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 always overrated. Especially now with like the number of like Hydro Flasks and Yetis and Massenomics Flex Flasks. Just those things. There's so many reasons that you don't need to buy bottled water. On top of, again, the pollution thing. Like let's just be less shitty about just making more garbage than we need to. So
we've had a lot of pollution topics.
We kind of
in there. Straws,
is the bonus question
cars.
Pollution overrated, underrated? But I'm going to say bottled water is very overrated.
Overrated. Do you remember our scripted Flex Flask commercial that we used to?
Oh, yeah.
Might have to bring
that back.
Bring that
that's
script.
That's like a retro piece now. Yeah, we'll have to bring that back.
We'll bring that back one of these days. And just kidding, it wasn't scripted. It was completely off the cuff.
Well, yeah, it was off the cuff, but it seemed scripted is what you're trying to say.
If you're relatively new to the show, you might want to go back and listen to episodes, I don't know, like 30 to 90. It's somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there you'll catch it. Yeah, just start going through those.
If you listen to... Put our podcast on play, started out episode 1, and let it run continuously.
You'll hit it sometime.
Well, it would take you over a week to listen to. If you listen to it 24 hours a day,
your ears would bleed. Yeah. Your head wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah,
You'd
if
say,
you started
did I
now,
just take nuclear garbage, or am I a week deep into the Massenomics
so strung
podcast?
out on Massenomics. I don't ever want to hear those guys talk again. That does wrap up overrated, underrated, though. Another excellent segment at overrated and underrated. And, of course, that means it wraps up the Massenomics podcast for the week. That wraps up episode 171. Would refer everyone to our store. We talked about the Don't Curl in Me shirt at the beginning of the podcast. We better talk about it again. It's so good it's worth talking about twice.
You'll want it. The mic is in front of me, so you can't see it that good. But,
no one's been able to see it this whole hour then.
Dang, we weren't thinking.
So that's our store. We've got all the other classics in there. We're out pretty well in stock on just about everything right now. All of our parody shirts.
Also, Tanner, I'm not trying to cut you off on the sales pitch here, but the race for first comment is getting great. It has actually jumped. It has jumped waters. It is now an international contest.
It is. This week, places 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all separated by 3 seconds,
which is nuts. It makes no sense how that's even possible.
It actually took a little investigative work and screenshots by people to figure out who actually even won first comment. It was the jury did resolve that it was Big James Swim Hack Strickland that won this week.
He assured me he accidentally gets it every week. He did tell me that, so he's not trying that hard. It just accidentally happens.
I don't think it's by no accident. So yeah, that is heating up, and there's probably at least 10 people vying for it this week too. So
the comment, I actually laughed out loud reading the comments, seeing how tight the race was.
Making top 3,
and people saying first, no, maybe I'm 5th.
Yeah. Making top 3 very hard. Making top 5 at this point is very hard. You better be within about the first minute to make top 5.
Yeah.
That does also. We are within very close reaching distance of 1,000 subscribers now. I think we're within about 7. Let me ask you this. We have 993 subscribers. Oh, what did I say? Podcast? I mean YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Is what on YouTube. We want to break 1,000 on YouTube. We're within, I think, 7 right now. On Instagram, we have 19,700.
Oh, yeah. What one will happen first?
Yes. Will we get 7 more YouTube subscribers, or will we get 300 more Instagram
I do think
followers?
That is actually a close race.
Which do you think? We'll review next. Maybe we won't know the answer next week or not, but we'll check back in on it.
I want to say Instagram.
You think we'll get 300 more before 7 more?
That could have been an over-under right there, Tanner.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know. That'll be really close.
I think we'll hit the 1,000 on YouTube just because 7 is so few.
Probably.
But if we just had one post, sometimes we can have one thing on Instagram that makes it jump 300.
We can have just 2 good posts in a day and it'll have 300 followers. Yeah, it's possible.
It'll be a tight race.
It will be.
But if you are listening and not subscribed on YouTube, you could kick over there, and I know there's some of you out there.
And be that 7th person.
Yeah. Special prize to you. if we can determine who it was. But yeah, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, of course, like us on there. Email list would be the other thing that we don't always bring up. Make sure to, when you're on the website, you can either go to the bottom of the page or it'll prompt you when you're on there, sign up for our email list. You never know when there might be email offers coming your way. Is that about the...
I think that's it.
That's it. Last and probably most importantly is check us out on Instagram.
And you can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can check out the official Massenomics Instagram at Massenomics.
See you.
See you next time.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.